Yo, what's up? Welcome everybody to the Prophecy Podcast. I am your usual co-host, your usual host, Obese the Prophet. Tonight we got a special co-host, Sean Dot.
What's good? What's good, everybody?
Sean Dot's with us tonight. My cousin Justin is MIA. He's probably lost in the snow because, he lives down there in Massachusetts, and I guess they got a lot of snow. So, hopefully he can dig himself out in time to maybe join us. If not, we wish him the best with that. So tonight, we got a really great episode of some local Maine talent here with us. Xander the Icon is joining us tonight, and it's going to be a dope episode, as they always are. We're going to get into some of the humble beginnings and story of how he got started and how we always do. And it's going to be a good show. We got some strange news to get to and all that good stuff. So, I wanted to just quickly give a quick reminder that starting tomorrow, we got Libsy returning with the Whooshy Gang podcast, starting on it'll be every Monday, starting on tomorrow evening. So tune in for that. That will be on all the channels that Libsy's on, plus the Elevate Audio and Visual Twitch channel, and probably a couple other channels as well. But you'll definitely be able to tune in for that. He's got a really special guest joining him from down his way, and they're going to talk music and crazy things. And I guess you want to check out his season. He's going to do some on-location stuff that's not sitting inside like this. So he's going to take his setup and go elsewhere and do some live interviews and stuff like that from that aspect. So it'll be pretty cool to see that. And it'll be really dope to see that. Actually, I'm looking forward to what he puts together with that. And I just wanted to let everybody know, remind them tomorrow. Don't forget to tune in to the Whooshy Gang podcast tomorrow evening. If you haven't already subscribed to Libsy, you can find him at YouTube, Libsy Official, or on Instagram, Libsy Official too. If you want to follow him there, pretty dope music guy. Writes everything, records everything himself, makes the beats, does all that shit. So shout out to Libsy. He's a great content creator here at Elevate. So without further ado, I do want to bring in tonight's guest, Xander the Icon. What's up, man?
How's it going, guys?
Yo.
We doing good, bro. So typically we start the show off with just like a brief introduction. Let everybody know kind of how you got started, when you got started, what some of your early influences were, what you did of music and all that good stuff.
So I'm from Pittsburgh, Massachusetts. My name's Xander the Icon. I moved up to Maine when I was about 15 years old, and instantly got into music right then and there, kind of having to leave my old life and start over brand new. It was my only kind of escape that I had, and from then on out, I did music for about 4 or 5 years and then stopped due to a bunch of personal issues that ended up going on, and just got back started a few months ago. So my biggest influences are obviously someone like Eminem. I'm a big fan of Jeezy. You name it, Gucci, Gorilla Zoe, 3 6 Mafia. I grew up on all of them. Pretty much very versatile with the type of hip hop that I listen to. I can listen to anything from hard rap to trap to R&B, you name it. And that's pretty much what I like to incorporate my own music. Trying to be versatile in any way possible. I've always used music as like an outlet for myself, to kind of let out all the anger and depression that I've had as a kid growing up, the way that I had to, and it's just continued to stay like that. And I kind of hope to use my music as a way to reach others that had a hard upbringing like myself, and try and help them understand that someone else here understands what they're going through, and that at the end of the day that they're not alone, and see if maybe I could save somebody's life or make somebody make the right decision just because they hear me talk about how that happened to me. And that's pretty much where I got into music. And I originally got my name is Alexander, so it used to be just Xander. But then when I released my last song and I put it on a distribution website, they ended up putting my song in another artist by accident because his name was Xander. Then when I looked it up, there was hundreds of artists named Xander. So, and the guy who was my graphic designer at the time, Brandon McPhail, he actually told me to change it to, something like Xander the Icon, something that stands out, something that represents me. So that's pretty much where we got that from, and ever since then, it's just taken off, and everybody's liked it. So, that's pretty much my biggest, like, how I got into music and where I am now.
Yeah, dope. So like, how long would you say you've been creating music at this point? How many years have you been doing it?
So I am now 25 years old. I've been making music since I was about 16. I recorded my first song. It was actually called "From Struggle Comes Strength." I got it tattooed on my arms to remind me every single day that there's more to live for, no matter what it is that you go through in life. And ever since then, that's one thing that when you go back to your earliest music, you really see the difference between you as an artist from then and now. And like that's one of the type of songs that like you listen to as the artist, and where most of us artists our own critiques, like biggest critiques. We like I can't even play it for people because it's so fucking embarrassing. But like you go from there, and I made music pretty much until I was about 19 years old, and like I started getting into trouble because I wanted to start making more money and started doing some dumb shit, and just ended up getting into a life that I shouldn't have never gotten into. And I ended up getting into a lot of trouble this year, and end up having to go through court and prove that I could be a better person, basically. And music was my only way to kind of like get myself out of addiction, out of the trying to always be on a hustle and be on a grind. And ever since I started doing that, I've been just elevating quick. I've released one really big song that actually did pretty good numbers so far since I've been back. And just since then, I've been in a world of trying to network and market my way into different projects and different collaborations all throughout, New England and the United States. I just recently signed to a team in Massachusetts from where I'm from, RTS Entertainment. A bunch of great artists on there that I'm going to be working with. And things are just going to keep going up from there.
Oh yeah.
What's up, dude?
Oh yeah, man. So that's good, man. Just rising out and rising up and fucking, making it happen.
Yeah.
So that's good, man. And so this is something that you're taking more seriously now than in the past. And I think that we talk about this a lot on the show, actually. Growth from like when you first start to like wherever you're at and happen to be at now. And that's pretty much all you can ask for as an artist, if you're making music, is if you are making that progress and not just staying stagnant. I think that's all that really matters. And
exactly,
I think if you make music for yourself over making music for other people, I think that really helps too.
That's when you get the best shit. Like that's when you write the most. It's like if you're writing it for yourself and you don't care what the hell other people think. Like I was just talking to somebody on the team that I'm on. I was just talking to them about that today because they were a little self-conscious about something. I was like, dude, listen, you're on this team because you're great. Don't doubt yourself. Just whatever comes to mind. Like if that's what you want, if that's what your heart is telling you to write about it. Don't be worried about what other people think. And he ended up taking that on and changing up his entire song, getting out of his writer's block, and writing the song all that day and getting it ready for release already. Like you just gotta. That's how you get the best shit, in my opinion. All my music I write directly from my heart. I don't let nothing stop me from what I say. I don't give a fuck if people judge me because I talk about a lot about my past. I talk about a lot of my addiction that I went through, the crimes that I did that got me to where I am now, the death of my brother, like everything. You write about the pain and just
part in. It's just like growing in life too, not even just through the music, like just everything that you go through in life plays a part in molding you, and you'll notice like the changes. But if you're really into yourself and self-conscious of everything, you notice them. But some people can go years and not notice that they've changed so much, and not for the worse either. I'm saying for the better, like a lot of times, you know what I'm saying? But they've come so far, and then they realize like 7-8 years go by, and they're like, you know what? I'm doing way better than I fucking was. Like this shit is actually going my way or whatever. It just takes like I think surrounding yourself with positivity. There's a lot of good support groups you can be in, especially for recovering addicts and everything. Like there's recovery support a lot more than there ever was in the past. So I think it's good.
Surround yourself with those positive vibes. You know what I mean? You gotta surround yourself and motivate yourself. And
that's
where you want to be at.
So,
Yeah,
I want to quickly. I just want to say that co-host, my cousin Justin, is finally here. So I'm going to bring him on real quick. What's up?
What's up? What's up?
Yo,
how's it
Yo,
going?
yo.
There you are.
cracking.
Oh, same stuff. Just getting into this interview with Xander, and I see. I didn't know if you were like stuck in the snow or something down there or whatever. So, but yeah, good to see you. And we just had a little, artist introduction. Been making music for I don't know about 9 years, I think, something like that. And have found the growth, like we talk about. When you first start, how music can be, and then how you grow and get more artistic and so on and so forth. And we're actually just getting to the strange news section and area of the show. So I was about to actually talk about some strange news. Then you popped in. So
No doubt. No doubt. Sorry I'm late.
well, it happens. All right, so I'm going to get into something here that people may or may not have heard of. Let me share the screen real quick so we can be on the same page here. So we got some strange news. How strange is this news? Not as strange as some of the shit that we've talked about, but let me bring this up real quick here and share it. So we got Elon Musk offers to pay teenage hacker to delete the Twitter bot that's tracking his plane. Right? So, you must have done something well to warrant this kind of attention, right? So there's a lot of bots accounts running automated scripts to post content on Twitter. Some of them spread misinformation, but others post hourly pictures of animals. And then there's @ElonJet. This bot keeps track of Elon Musk's private jet, reporting when it takes off, where it's headed, and when it lands. And Elon Musk is ready to pay to get the bot offline. So behind @ElonJet is a 19-year-old hacker, Jack Sweeney. No, not the kind of hacker you see in movies. Sweeney just uses his computer skills to solve IT problems in creative ways. So the teenager is certainly prolific in coding Twitter bots. On top of @ElonJet, he's created 14 others tracking other famous people, from Bill Gates to Jeff Bezos. So, of course, Elon's getting mad about it or whatever, but it's kind of like, funny to see when people like in his position get angry about stuff and then start to want to throw their money around.
That's crazy.
I wish he'd get so angry about everybody being so fucking poor, Throw some money at that.
Stupid ass shit.
Oh, Justin, so this is Sean, my buddy Sean. Sean Dot. That's my cousin Justin,
Hey.
man. So we get an introduction, because I know you guys haven't met before. So he's
Nice
chilling with
finally
us.
meet you, man. Nice finally meet you.
He's chilling with us tonight,
Yeah,
and
likewise.
he could be with us on future episodes too. Sometimes from home or from here, whatever. It doesn't matter. But have him be a little more involved from here on out and stuff like that.
Word.
So,
Definitely. I'll be around.
Always
Um,
good. It's always good.
but yeah. So, do you have any strange news on your end or what?
I can't share the link with you, but I got this on my phone. I came up with this 25th. What was the 25th? Tuesday?
Yeah.
Apparently, Massachusetts is in the top 20 in the country for UFO sightings.
Oh, really?
So overall, there's been 1,884 sightings in Massachusetts, which ranks at number 17th in the United States as far as UFO sightings, reported sightings. Clearly, it's way behind California, but California's got over 10,000 reported sightings, but they have, shit ton more people. The website used information from the National UFO Reporting Center, which has documented over 90,000 UFO sightings. And it was founded back in 1974, but the information it has dates back to 1400, apparently, says this website.
Damn, okay.
Wow.
Yeah, and almost 3/4 of all UFO sightings reported in the United States occur between 4 p.m. and midnight, and tend to peak between 9 p.m. and 10 p.m. So if you're trying to see a UFO, go outside in the United States, look up at the sky between 9 and 10, and chances are you'll see one.
Yeah, that sounds crazy though. Like just for an hour, like that doesn't even make sense.
Well, I mean, that's when they peak.
Right.
So that's when most of the sightings are reported, or during those hours. It's not necessarily that's when they are, but a majority of the reports are happening between
So the
9 and 10 p.m.
1400s though, 1400. That's they got reports dating back that far. I'd like to
Yeah,
get
and I
it.
don't know how they have that information, but
I
they
want to. I
do.
want to hear. I want to read those reports and hear how they were written.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
how they were
right.
describing it and what kind of like language they were using. You know, like it would just be crazy to hear and then read it back.
Oh yeah, you definitely hear some fucking
It'd
weird
be
shit.
Yeah,
different.
what did they call UFOs back in 1400?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Saucers.
I want to get that.
Yeah, so there's this one story that they mention in this article. It's in South Ashburnham. It was in January 1967. So that what, 45 years ago? No, 55 years ago. It recently got added into the Great Barrington Historical Society, so it's officially recognized as a historic event now, as of 2015, actually. And just to give you a little bit of information about this particular event, it was again 1967, January of '67. Thomas Reed, who was 9 years old at the time, spotted this. Oh, hold on, let me find where it says. He said he remembered he was with his family traveling in a car, and they were driving from Ski, Butternut, and Great Barrington over the Sheffield Bridge when they noticed a bright floating object near their car. They felt what Reed describes as a change in pressure or an electromagnetic field. A dead silence fell, the light grew brighter, and they found themselves somewhere else. Now, he's been telling this tale, for years, and he claims that the media has kind of taken it out of context. They've kind of blown up certain parts of the story. But what he does say is he remembers being in what looked like an airplane hangar. He said, "We didn't stay in the car. We were removed from the vehicle. That's true. Where we were, I don't know." So he's not claiming that he was abducted. However, the story that he tells kind of seems like that's what the case was.
A little bit. Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, and he claims that he's never once used the word abduction, but that's, the story that he's telling, that's what it seems
Basically,
like. So,
what it sounds like, yeah.
Exactly.
Huh.
So that was a historical event that came from the great state of Massachusetts.
Yeah, I gotta love Massachusetts and they got crazy shit out there. Yeah, that's crazy. So yeah, we got a shout out here on the screen, you know what I'm saying? So we're gonna keep it moving though. We got to get back into talking about the artists here. So let's talk about your first projects, your early influences. We talked about the growth since then, but like, what did you work? First off, I always like to ask this of the guests that come on. During school, when you were in school, were you ever in any bands in school? Did you play like any instruments through school? Did you do like choir or anything like that? Because I like to ask, because I like to gauge like what our public how our public school system is doing as far as music is concerned, and how many people are actually involved with school music programs growing up. So were you in anything like that when you were in school?
No, nothing at all.
No.
When I was growing up, I played a lot of sports.
Yeah.
Where I grew up, they didn't really have a whole lot for bands and stuff. And if you did, my people I was hanging around with, it wasn't their kind of shit. So I know I'd get picked on, so I never really did.
Right.
But when I moved to Maine, I just kind of honestly was really bad in school. I ended up staying back in 7th grade just because I didn't care to do my work. Like, I was a smart kid. The teachers always told me, but I just didn't give a shit. And then I ended up dropping out freshman year, and then going to adult ed, and went and got my GED. So school really for me was a place where I just went to write music. That's probably the only thing musical that I did at school.
Yeah.
But besides that, my earliest projects, like I said, there was From Struggle Comes Strength, and then there was a couple songs that I did with one of the kids that, when I moved to Maine, he's the one who got me into wanting to record. He used to just walk around all the time and freestyle down to skate parks and everything like that. And I ended up hopping on a couple tracks with him, went up to Portland and recorded in a studio over there. They're all right. Like I said, those are ones that I wouldn't really show anybody. Like, again, I kind of just put them off. 18 years old, I didn't want to fucking listen to them anymore. But I ended up signing to a label in New York after I dropped a couple of songs, because I ended up being on Reverb Nation, and one of them was requesting something, and I put an application for it in my EPK, and they ended up wanting to sign me. Well, when I win, I ended up being one of the better ones on the label. There was another artist on there, his name was G Gain, and he was pretty good as well. He's from Washington. But after at least a couple projects through them, I ended up coming to find out that they were pretty much like robbed me of any money that I had coming in. I was doing pretty well. Any song that I released through them, the moment that I left them, they cut it off cold turkey. They would pretty much took all my songs off the internet, off any Play Store that you could get it on, and pretty much just canceled the entire contract at that point. And then that's basically when I released one of my songs, Get Rich. That was probably one of my biggest songs that I've ever done. It was more like a trap kind of banger. It was really, really good. And then I ended up stopping for a few years, and then since I've come back, I've just been, I've been listening to a lot of like Rod Wave, Roddy Ricch, friggin' Kevin Gates, a bunch of different artists, man. Like I'm so like Moray, I love everything. So since I've been doing that, I've been really trying to mix it all in with new stuff. The first one that I released was The Reset. That one, so far, that was my first drop back, and on Facebook alone, that one's got about almost 10,000 views, and I mean, it's on 150 plus streaming services, Spotify, you name it.
Yep.
That one's just one that I went really hard on. I wanted to show my lyricism. I wanted to show my wordplay and how I could just kind of go off on the beat. And while I was at the studio, I ended up having to pretty much rewrite the entire thing because my phone died. And at the time, my only buddy that was with me, he had an iPhone at the time. I only had an Android. And so we had to kind of rewrite the entire song in the booth because I just finished writing it. And fucking, it was a shit show. Yeah. But the song came out good. And, for writing it and recording it and mixing and mastering it within like 2-3 hours, it did pretty fucking good numbers. So.
And we're gonna take a listen to those. I think a couple of songs you mentioned. Now we'll take a listen to them in a little bit here once we get a little bit further into the show, and so we can listen to that and take in appreciation for that through our ears rather than you just explaining it to us. Because I mean, I want to obviously I didn't pre-share this with you, Justin, any of his music, so it's going to be fresh ears that we get to hear it with. I think that's always a great way to have the music on here. I've happened to heard some of your music before. I'm not completely sure because I didn't look at the playlist yet if I've heard those ones, but I have heard some of your music before. But I don't think my cousin has, and I don't think Sean has either. So it'll be good to have the fresh ears and hear that. So we're excited to get into that. How about any genres that you listen to besides hip hop? Like things that I like to listen to, classic rock and classical music is another thing I like to listen to, jazz and shit like that. But,
yeah, I listen to a lot. I listen to just about everything. Probably the one genre I don't listen to anymore is country, and that's just because I've fallen off with it because. Yeah.
We're on the non-country bandwagon anyway. Like we're not. I don't really fuck with it. You know what I mean? No. I'm cool with it. I don't hear it.
I grew up with that.
Besides that, I listen to absolutely everything. I've listened to metal. I listen to classical. I listen to rock. I listen to jazz as well because I started getting into making beats, and I listen to that to learn kind of like some different melodies that I can try and utilize in my best way.
Drum timing too. The jazz drum timing sometimes can be really cool, really swingy and shit like that. So it's very good shit to get into, especially if you're making beats. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, I think I'm going on. This is the 23rd year that since I've made my first beat. So I've been doing it for a while. It comes pretty quickly and naturally to me, and to switch things up. And I could take this time actually to mention that, speaking of beats and shit like that, if anybody out there is interested, I still have the beats, the sound kit on my website. So you go to obesetheprophet.com, click on free drum kit, 660 sounds. I'm actually putting together a new one too. So if you're into that, it's just a bunch of free sounds if you're into having drum sounds and shit like that I've collected over the years. So go download that, check that shit out. And yeah, I want to talk now about like unexplained phenomenon. So we always ask people who come on the show as our guests, what, if any, is your favorite unexplained phenomenon? You know, there's like aliens and Bigfoots and ghosts and I mean fucking Bermuda Triangle, conspiracies, whatever it is. What is your favorite like one that you could talk about real easily that kind of piques your interest?
Honestly, mine would have to definitely be, you know, I'm a very, very spiritual person. I always grew up like that. And so my whole life I believed in ghosts. You know, the fifth dimension is a big one. Sacred geometry is one thing that I'm really big into. And it's, you know, that's unexplained phenomenon to me because it blows your fucking mind once you start getting into how deep it actually gets. Where everything in this world is built off of, you know, some sort of geometric symbol. But definitely, I think my top one would definitely be like the supernatural and like the fifth dimension. I actually have a rosary that I have, and it at the end of it, instead of a cross, it's a spirit stone. And I was given it by my mother. And pretty much what it is you ask a question, a yes or no question is supposed to reach to somebody that has passed around you. And I've had my grandmother and my best friend both pass away within 2 months of each other. So I asked them, I used to go to them for everything. So now I still do. And if you hold it over your hand and like you're asking questions and it's completely still, if it's yes or no, it'll spin one way or it'll just end up like swinging back and forth. And I actually use that in a lot of like to help me out with my music and any decision that I make. And, you know, I can't say anything bad about it because so far it's actually helped me get to where I am now.
Wow.
I'm very big for that.
Cool, man. Something we hadn't really even mentioned or had talked about before on the show, which is cool, man. I like it, man. Spirit stones and shit, right?
Oh yeah. I got crystals all around my studio room.
Crazy.
You name it.
I do keep a fair amount of crystals around. Like I do like my crystals, but I never really got like really into it. I just know that like having them around is good. You know,
that's it there.
Like that's sick, man. I didn't know that you could manifest like your destiny with the stone, bro. That's great.
Yep. It's basically runs off of energy. That's all it is the energy around you, so it reacts to it.
Yeah, that's pretty dope.
I like that.
Hell yeah. Shit. All right. So I would usually talk about a little bit about what I'm into. I was into Bigfoot for a while, like trying to figure out, you know, Bigfoot theory and shit like that. And like, I always come to the multi-dimensional kind of theory where I feel like maybe Bigfoot's not physically on this earth per se, but within a dimensional realm that we can see once in a while. And I just feel like a lot of things fit into that category. Like you could explain aliens maybe the same way, ghosts even maybe the same way. You know, they're able to come in and out of dimensions and shit. But
monster.
And I don't really believe in religion. I'm not really religious, like, you know what I'm saying, but I do definitely believe in energies and the universe and how things kind of all, you know, happen for a reason, and coincidences can't mathematically happen, you know, things like that. I see a lot of that, but I've never really had too many personal like experiences with like ghosts or seeing any of that stuff like firsthand. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to, and I think I'm open to it. Just haven't really actually personally experienced any of it, really. You know what I'm saying? Nothing that would really convince me that it could be real. And I'd love to see something. It's just I haven't yet. I've seen little tiny things you could probably explain as just it's normal, and my brain may be associating it like because of something that's happened, but really nothing real crazy and definitive that I've been like, damn, did you see that shit? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so it is what it is. And I, like I said on this show plenty of times, I do want to believe it. I do look at a lot of fucking shit, and whether it's real or fake and shit on the internet, YouTube. I'm always looking on different websites and doing like just for fun, you know, kind of trying to obviously gain knowledge for this show also. It's for things to talk about. So but yeah, it's something I'm interested in, and I'll probably never stop being interested in it. And I might just be one of those people who's not like, you know, made to see it. I mean, other people are out there and they get to see crazy shit all the time. And I understand people's energies and shit is different or whatever. But maybe someday I'll get to witness something, or even a secondhand, third hand, whatever it might be. But for now, it is what it is, and I'm going to start pointing my camera to the sky a lot more often than I have been in years past, too, trying to find shit. So, yeah. So yeah. Anyways, let's bounce over to top 5, dead or alive, and let's just do a quick top 5, and I'm gonna let you pick, because normally it can be anything. We do top 5 about whatever, like top 5 apples, like what are your top 5 kind of apples? No, but you could do albums, songs, artists, genres, producers, DJs, beats, music videos, favorite verses,
okay,
favorite artists, even if it's not
we've done
artist.
album covers, we've done movies, we've done it all.
Movies, that's another one. Yeah, movies, favorite food, favorite. I mean, it could just be top 5, whatever you feel like talking about right now. Painters, writers, whatever it is. Just pick a topic, and we'll all try to rattle off a quick top 5.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
I mean, everybody here smokers?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I am.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
In another life, maybe.
I'm not sure this guy is anymore. Anyway, So, but not to say who's him, because he could probably still have a top 5 of maybe different kinds of trees. Like, what's your top 5 favorite trees? Is it oak?
That's what I was gonna say. What are your top 5 favorite strains? Like,
oh shit,
favorite strains. There's so many to choose from, especially from someone like me who has worked in the industry for a long time with marijuana. It's a big one, but I don't want to go
have your favorites no matter
like
what. Definitely would say. I mean, okay, for me right now, what I'm thinking of is the classics. Probably like the original Purple Haze. That was like before legalization. I used to go down to Boston to this studio and record with this dude DSP. Did a lot of production and work with the dude Poverty. But he would always have this Purple Haze, and it was from down around there. And I just don't know like anything more about it than it was Purple Haze. And man, it tasted like grapes. It was just like, it was great. It was great. Yeah. That was one of my favorite strains. Never really saw it unless I was down in Boston and saw Dez, and I'd be like, yo, you got some of that Purple Haze? And he'd be like, yes. Can you roll blunts? I'd be like, no, but I can try, and I will, and I'll keep trying. As long as we keep them rolling.
We'll get through it.
Purple Haze for sure. And then you got, I think probably Wedding Cake is another one that's probably on my top. Then we got the Gelato 33, Larry Bird, the 33. Definitely that, yeah. And of course, like Gorilla Glue, that's another one that I like. Mendo Breath is also probably like real Mendo Breath, not like the fake real Mendo Breath. It has such a unique flavor and smell to it. I think that's probably what my top 5 would probably be. That's fine, right?
Yeah, I think that's 5. Yeah. 5, man. If I would narrow down to 5, ooh, it's tough. I work at a dispensary, so I'm seeing these strains all the time.
Well, this list doesn't have to be all time. It can be currently.
I'm not go currently right now. What I've been smoking on is some Galactic Runts. All the Runt strains are just so killer, man. But this Galactic Runts has just been hitting really good. I'm gonna have to go with Gorilla Glue for sure. That's what I'm smoking on. Gelato. And I'd have to kick it back classic, like Sour Diesel, your Raspberry Diesel. Always love the Diesel strains.
Yeah, solid.
Solid strains. That's 4, huh? I'd probably even go with some of the cake strains, like the Platinum Cake. I remember when Platinum Cake first came around.
Platinum was good.
I was hitting that, and it really just kind of like, it was like that. It was that wedding cake kind of feel, but you had more of a relaxed kind of feel as well too. It hit nice. It hit nice.
Yeah.
What about you?
I think my top 5. I got so many because I own a delivery service as well. So like, I see a lot come in and out. Different strains, sativa, indica, hybrids. I smoke everything. Like the way that I smoke is I smoke a sativa in the morning. That's why I get through my day, do all my shit. and because they're always at night right before bed, or else my wild ass mind will be up all fucking night working. So I definitely have to give my favorite old school strain all time. I'll always smoke it if I have it. Is Blue Dream. Blue Dream is real good. It's real good sativa for me. It's my favorite. Next to that would be Lilac Diesel. Is a strain that I've come to love very, very much. Perfect hybrid blend, and it's perfect all the way around. It helps get my creative juices going. It keeps me awake, but at the same time gives me that body buzz that takes away the pain and shit. Black Cherry Punch, that one is one that I absolutely love, mainly because of the flavoring on it. But I had some this past year, and it was probably one of the strongest indigos I ever smoked. Every time I smoked it, it just put my ass to sleep. Like I couldn't even move. I was laying there one night next to my fiance, and I told her, I was like, babe, I can't get the fuck up. I was like, I'm too stoned on this. And I was absolutely stuck. Another one would be, oh fuck, which one would I say? Tangelope. Tangelope everything is amazing. Like, mainly as like a connoisseur like myself, that's the type of stuff that you always want to smoke in a paper, because you just want the full taste of that.
You want to taste it.
You want to taste everything in that, because it's a beautiful taste. It'll get you every time. And then I think that's 4, right? 4.
Yeah, 4 is 4.
So I'll give number 5 to my actual. I want to say it's THCV. It's a more like a psychedelic version of THC. You don't find it in many strains, but the strains that do have it, if you smoke enough, it almost gives you psychedelic-like properties of a high, like as if you were to take some, like eat a little bit of mushies or something like that, and it would give you this completely different high than anything else. And it was called Cloudwalker, and I had that, and it was extreme. You smoked a little bit of it, and you all were just laughing, like as if you're just coming up, on a couple mushies and just losing it. So it was amazing. That's my top 5.
Put you in the tingle zone. Yo, so how about your top 5?
Yeah, all of them.
All of them.
Yeah, so I don't know. I guess we'll just move on. We did a good top 5. I agree. I do want to mention though, runner up for that we left out, and I know it's one of my favorites too. Purple Punch. Purple Punch is another great one that we left out. That's a good runner up strain though, I'd say. Always super frosty and very grapey and very tasty. So another one of those strains where you gotta like smoke it in a bowl or like in paper or something like that.
Yeah.
So runner
fruity pebbles on them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, shout out to the strains in the brains, insane and membrane shit. So what besides music are you doing? Like, you talked briefly about this delivery service, and that's all fun and awesome. But like, what are you doing? Like, do you like head to the museum and check out art stuff, or you're out in the wilderness taking hikes? Like, what do you do to kind of like clear your mind from all the crazy shit?
I work. Like, I just work my ass off. I got my daughter, and then I have my 3 stepkids. And they're all in my world, like I gotta bust my ass, because it ain't cheap raising kids. Whatever it is that I do, if I'm not making money from it, then it's not worth my time right now. Pretty much like what I do for fun is my music. Like I love it. That's what I enjoy to do. Besides that, I'm always on the grind right now. I get the family time that I can get. Besides that, that's really all, man.
Oh yeah, family time's important. You only got one life to live, so you want to make sure that you're dividing your time up right, and all that good shit. So yeah, I like to get out there and clear my head by getting into nature and separating myself from all the crazy electronic bullshit, and just getting out there and appreciating what is just there to like be there. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, no matter what, like you go on, if you just go down the same trail, you're always going to usually see like the same trees and everything that is just exists, whether or not you're there to see it or not. Like, being there for those moments actually it really helps me clear my fucking head, no matter what's going on in my fucking life. Like, and it's hard when winter's here, because I don't get to, everything's white, everything's kind of like not alive. You know, it's there, but it's not the same. So like I like to spring, summer, fall. I like to get out as much as I can and to see the changes and witness stuff that's growing up, and then the fall when the leaves come down and it all starts that whole cycle again. It's like, yeah, it's just like kind of like an epitome of kind of like what life is like in a way. So it's just, I don't know, it is humbling, like you said. It's kind of that way, you know. You can be like on YouTube all fucking day or whatever, and looking at all this crazy shit I'm always doing, and I'm in school now, so I'm doing a lot of fucking school shit related to that. And it's hard to like separate everything once in a while, but I find that helps me a lot. And then just reading. I got this dope book through school, a bunch of philosophy shit, and wow. I never was into philosophy much, you know, other than the basic shit they tell you about Plato and Homer and all this other shit that's like basic shit that you kind of have to learn about. Right. Never really extended it beyond that. But there's some cool shit in this book, and then the professor, I was watching some shit on YouTube, so I was doing that for a while. So that was fun to kind of get into that. It's something I'm actually kind of like looking forward to. So more philosophy class. It's just an online class, so it's not as engaging as if I was in an actual class, but he does post some interesting stuff that's pretty cool. So I'm into that right now. Actually, that kind of helps me get over stuff. And strangely enough, I'm going to be, I think, going on 14 years sober in August of this year from, I mean, I smoke weed. That's all I do, you know. But yeah, and I picked up this book. It's like an AA book. It's just a little book, and it has all these sayings in it every day of the week. I didn't even know that these things existed, you know. And so I picked one of these things up at like a thrift store. It was like 25 cents. And sometimes I open that up to whatever day it is in the book, and I read what it says. And you know, actually, sometimes it's kind of helpful, which is cool. It's almost like a cool little book to have around. I'm not exactly sure what they call it. I think maybe if I went to these meetings, I've never been to I never went to an NA meeting or an AA meeting or anything. Yeah. I've heard, and I had a lot of people try to bring me into, like, yo, you should come and get your chips and do this and that. And I just like,
it wasn't for me either.
I do want to go. It's something I do want to do eventually. It's just, you know, with whole COVID thing, it really set me back for a while, and I'm like, now I'm kind of getting back into it. I'm going to be traveling soon. I've been thinking about it more. Like, should I get my thing? Because to me, it doesn't really matter that much if I have the chips. I know what I'm doing and what I've done and everything else. But it is kind of cool to say. It's cool to have and say.
Definitely, yeah. It's going to get different.
I'm like 50-50. It's like, okay, you know. But I'm sure if I went to these meetings, I would probably know exactly what that book is called. And I'm sure it's just used to motivate you when you're feeling down about everything. But it helped me actually reading through it and finding some of these days where it's like things are hard, you know. I do that. I think that helps a lot. But yeah, recently things have been hard, but it's been a little easier to get through than I thought it would be. But yeah, so let's we're gonna actually, what do we got next after top 5? Oh, non-musical hobbies. So like, yeah, we did that. We could do smoke break. We could play some music right now, and I think we should probably do that. So like, time for blazing. If anybody out there is watching, now is the time. You know what I mean? We are gonna do our smoke break, which is brought to you by Fire on 4, which is located down in the heart of Portland, Maine's Old Port district at 367 4th Street. Check them out. They're recreational now, so if you're down in the area, check them out. They got a great selection of everything. Just make sure you got your ID and you're good to go. They sponsor everything, so shout out to them. He also was good friends of mine too over there that do that, so shout out to them. Anyways, we're gonna play some music right now. So I think I have a playlist I got from you. I think I want to play that song you had mentioned, the Get Rich song. I think that was one of the earlier ones that we got here.
Yeah, that one. I released that one about 4.5 years ago, and then took a big break from music, and then from there it was the reset after that. And then there's one feature that I have on there that was pretty much a feature that I did with the label that I was part of, and it never got released. It just kind of sat there. So I usually plan on completely redoing the song eventually, but at the same time, I just kind of like to keep it on there to be petty because they fucked me over. So I keep it on there to prove like that verse is fire, and they're gonna be a little bit pissed off that they don't have it. So
Yeah, hell yeah. All right, so cool. We got a little setup, and let's jump into the song. It's "Get Rich" by Xander the Icon.
Danny, the king of the track.
They gon' watch me get it, killing every beat that I'm feeling. I be real and I be ill. Yeah, my skill is like a pill. Get it poppin', feeling lost and let it diggin' like a drill. I'm a boss, so why you mocking? You can't even pay your bills. They gon' watch me get it, killing every beat that I'm feeling. I be real and I be ill. Yeah, my skill is like a pill. Get it poppin', feeling lost and let it diggin' like a drill. I'm a boss, so why you mocking? You can't even pay your bills. Feel that I make a meal with all the bitches on my dick and all the rollies and the wheels. But they're tripping on me, sitting with my homies and no deal. I'm just trying to make it all real. I will get all of the riches from the living. From the beginning, you'll be living when I make it. So I'm gonna watch you hate it. Acting famous when I grace the stage is crazy. How I leave my amazing faded from my latest tape. Then I'ma just put these beats to shame and then I'll burn them, leave no traces. Face it, me and my team the greatest. We gonna make the kick and take the game from the lanes that have two faces. Sorry if I am too blatant, but I'm staying paper chasing, lacing tracks with the dopest statements. Call me Scarface when I show it, come the fastest in the race. Gotta be the baddest in the state that we all call main. Gonna make a name for this place, they all say in vain. They're gonna race the words they're saying and start praying to understand. All the planes of the young man's hands, gonna get all the fans and bands. And maybe by chance he'll take a stand and just show him who's the man. They gon' watch me get it, killing every beat that I'm feeling. I be real and I be ill. Yeah, my skill is like a pill. Get it poppin', feeling lost and let it diggin' like a drill. I'm a boss, so why you mocking? You can't even pay your bills. Yeah. They gon' watch me get it, killing every beat that I'm feeling. I be real and I be ill. Yeah, my skill is like a pill. Get it poppin', feeling lost and let it diggin' like a drill. I'm a boss, so why you mocking? You can't even pay your bills. You see why they be slacking, cause they're lacking all this passion that I have for all the rapping. I'm casting magic, the blasting static, claiming the stash and cash in the cabinet, but I believe that is inaccurate. I'll put your ass up on blast and make a laugh about your fashion. Rat-tat-tat from the back of a lack with lyric on Mac on clacking. We're gonna snap back on the gas and we'll just leave your ass in the past and throw your whack ass tracks in trash. I'm coming in first while you're in last, putting these tracks up in the casket and we gonna stash them in the grass. I'm sure the world just what happens when you're caught laughing at the captain of the team that's full of talent. Our challenge is to get to the palace in the cats up on the bounds. Get 100,000 pounds from the words in all the towns. I'm gonna be what they talk about. See me going state to state. Now you can see it in my bank account, getting paid straight off that PayPal. So what do you have to say now? You can't even stay away now from all these tracks I laid down, but you can't even keep up, cause Xander will never slow down yet. They gon' watch me get it, killing every beat that I'm feeling. I be real and I be ill. Yeah, my skill is like a pill. Get it poppin', feeling lost and let it diggin' like a drill. I'm a boss, so why you mocking? You can't even pay your bills. Yeah. They gon' watch me get it, killing every beat that I'm feeling. I be real and I be ill. Yeah, my skill is like a pill. Get it poppin', feeling lost and let it diggin' like a drill. I'm a boss, so why you mocking? You can't even pay your bills.
Hell yeah, we were just talking about how the beat especially was like a mix of like it was like Eminem piano and Eminem sounds, but like the trappy like really like bass in there was like really like a great mixture of
Yeah,
of like styles. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what really caught me off there. And then I always love when people alter the vocals. You know what I'm saying? Like so like the chopped up parts. Like I love that too. That's something that I
yeah,
like myself. So I like that.
yeah.
And you were saying that is that the song that the label was trying to? That's a song, right? That was trying to. Or
No,
that's
that was pretty
you
much
did
that
when
was
you came off
that was
that.
one I released right after I got out of it.
Right. Yeah.
Um, the one that is it's Feel My Grind. It says that it's a feature on there, but it's just it was supposed to be a feature with that artist. We were on the label together, and like I said, they ended up screwing me over. We ended up going to pretty much court for this shit, leaving the label, and then they just pretty much took all the money from it and then cut all the songs off the internet. So
Yeah.
it was one that didn't ever get released. It never got recorded from him. It was recorded like the day before I ended up wanting to call it quits with the label. So it just kind of sat there, and they I had a bunch of features with the artists on that album, and every single that I did with them, I put my absolute most into my effort, and like you'll hear it on that one if you listen to it. It's pretty lyrical, it's quick, it sounds good, and they were. I'm petty. Like I wanted to post it because they get to miss out on it, because it would have been one that would have made them a decent chunk of change, in my opinion.
Yeah, no doubt. Word. So yeah, that we'll get into some more music in just a little bit from Xander. So let's talk about new rap versus old rap. So sometimes we can just get into this for like this can be like a big topic or a short topic. But one thing I like to ask everybody is when it comes to live shows, are you rapping over your backing vocals or no?
No. I when I first started, my first show that I did in New Hampshire, it was done over this little like bar, and it's probably about like 100 people there. And I went over my vocals, and it was the fucking host. He like announced my name wrong. He called me Xavier, not Xander, and like I walked on the stage just already pissed off.
Yeah.
And then the vocals went on, and it had me all fucked up. And honestly, like I fucked up my first performance. It was horrible. And then after that, I realized like when you try and go over your vocals on the while you're performing, it always it never sounds as good. It always sounds shitty. And then if you don't want it to be shitty, then you got to pretty much lip sync to your own shit or have the mic off, and it's not even worth it at that point. So I think it shows true talent to be able to have your all your lyrics memorized, your vocals down packed, everything, and just be able to perform it all. Especially if you're an artist that has more speed than others and more lyricism and what am I looking for? Rhyme schemes in there. Then I think it's best off to do it without show your true talent. We're artists, and we're artists for a reason. If you're just a rapper, there's two different things in my opinion.
Yeah, there is, but I do think that rapping over your vocals it can make things sound like just muddy and everything. It just doesn't really work out a lot of times. There is times where you could use an ad lib in there that you might have an effect on, or during the hook you might want a little bit there to back you up. I understand that, but for the most part, I mean, when someone pays to see a performance, they do want to see the performance, and despite what a lot of times what you might think, like as a fan or as someone just as a fan of hip hop who wants to see live shows and shit like that, I think that going to the live show with a real open mind and knowing that live show is a live show and anything can happen, and someone might mess up their fucking words and like it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like just having that mindset. I think a lot of people, everybody has anxiety about shit, but I do think that as far as I'm concerned, when I go there, I don't care if you mess up your words as long as the performance you're giving is genuine, and like because I'm paying for it. You know what I'm saying? So like I do want it to be unique, and if you messing up your words makes it unique, then hey, then I'm getting what I paid for. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not there to like judge you, like, oh, you fucked your shit up. I'm like, okay, how's he gonna handle this? Is it gonna be like a little freestyle? Or are we just gonna wait till he catches the next bar? Like, I don't really care if you fuck it up. That's part of the performance, and it's part of growing as a performer too. You know what I'm saying? You have to kind of make mistakes along the way. I think a lot of times to do that, and if you're not like fucking practicing doing live, like have a practice space where you're actually practicing doing live performance, it does get kind of hard to know that and keep your breath and move around a stage and all that other shit if you don't really do it. And another aspect too of the new versus old is I really like to see when people bring in someone to do the ad libs for them, like a fucking Flavor Flav, like someone to come in and be their hype man. I don't see that a lot. A lot of people will just roll the performance out solo, and that's cool, and it works. It does give a performance, and sometimes it can be really great. However, I think an aspect of hip-hop that is overlooked a lot of times is that hype man who can come and bring that shit, your boy who knows all the words and shit. Not to take over the performance, but kind of help you out. Like so you don't need those. You don't feel the need anyway for those backing vocals or to have the vocals on anything. You have someone, you're confident that they know when you need to take a breath and they're going to fill in for you or whatever the case may be. I think that I like to talk about that because I like to find out if people are using hype man, and B, I like to just put that idea out there if they haven't even thought of it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe grab a fucking hype man and try doing a fucking show like that. And it had a great aspect to doing shows.
I've always liked to have at least one or two, maybe even a group of your close friends that are even closest fans that just all rock with your shit on stage. Because in a sense, with me, honestly, like I always had stage fright at first. I wasn't really the most like out there kid growing up. I was always fucking closeted to myself, and I kept away from everybody, and I just was a complete outcast. So I've always been nervous of being in the spotlight. So when you have those guys up there with you and they're making chaos on stage and shit like that, and just having a good fucking time and getting everybody else in the crowd live with you, it makes it so much easier. And another thing that you said with how you rather see an artist fuck up and then keep like not even matter, like that's my favorite one. You hear them stutter and slip up, and then they don't even let it affect them. They just continue going on and then stay on the same flow and stay on the same beat. And that's the best in my opinion, because they act like it never happened and just keep moving forward, and then it just shows more talent. Like they can just easily fall off and get back on right then and there.
Yeah, and it shows they're human too, because I mean, a lot of times when you're recording in the studio, you can do a lot more in the studio than you can when you're doing stuff live. So, and I don't want to knock on anybody in specific, you know what I'm saying? But like, I've seen plenty of shows and people that I respect as artists, and I'm like, I know that just because they fucked up at the show, it's because they're rapping fast, or they got a part where it's real hard to catch, and they've either punched in or they've overlapped and done some stuff in the studio where it's like kind of impossible to fucking hit if you don't have a fucking hype man or something there, you know. And they're doing it with no backing vocals. And if you're messing up and you're rapping like and you fuck up, like, more power to you, because that shit's hard, and especially trying to remember all your shit, like moving around the stage, remembering all your words, making sure everything is right, your image is right, everything it plays into it. You know what I'm saying? So, it's not easy. It's I think the hardest part of making music would be doing the live performance. It's by far the hardest part. Anyone can sit down and start writing something. You know what I'm saying? It's true. Anyone can sit down and write something. That's really the start of it. And then it takes another step of confidence to actually put those writings into words and speak it out. And then another step, to like record it. And then another step to put that out. It's steps, you know what I'm saying? And I think that some artists, they only hit certain steps, and that's what they're comfortable with. And I respect it all. I don't care if I know plenty of people like there's this kid Sam Smead. I fucking grew up loving his fucking music, and he just won't do live performances. He did a few back in the day when he was early on, but his anxiety and the way that he views himself and all that stuff plays into how he just won't do live shows. But one of the best fucking artists like I had ever heard in my life. Like, as far as writing and making hooks and creating whole fucking songs all by himself, you know what I'm saying? And just amazing, but just couldn't really do the live show, and it kind of pushed him out of wanting to make music, because he got to a point where he had such great music, everyone wanted to hear it live, but he wouldn't do it. And so then it kind of be like, okay, well, what are you doing this for if that's not the ultimate goal? And it became a thing where I just don't want to do it, and that sucks, because you see someone's creative fire kind of burned out, and you're like, damn, okay, but you gotta. I personally don't care. Like, I'll still make music and not perform live. It's not really a thing for me. But he had pressure around him, and he's just like, fuck it, I don't care. I won't make music no more. Right. It's like, okay, well, that's how it goes. You know what I'm saying? But live performing is probably that top tier where you got to be good at that, and it takes time and practice.
Live performing is the bread and butter to music. Like that's where you make all your money at. Like if you're someone who wants to do this for their life and you want a career out of this, and like you want this to be, what you do your entire career, performing is most important. Like you can make money from streaming, but in all reality, you're only making what, like 0.001 cent or something like that on some streaming services, and then you get endorsements and shit like that. That's different. But besides that, everybody just streams shit nowadays compared to going and buying your song. You gotta perform live, in my opinion.
And have merch too. If you're doing live shows, you should have some merch for people to buy too and stuff, so that they, you know what I'm saying? Because it is how you make your money. You're not going to make it from streaming. A lot of people will get 1 million fucking streams and they ain't got nothing to show for it, which, it's cool to have 1 million streams. Don't get me wrong. Everybody wants a plaque, you know what I'm saying? But that plaque is just going to get you so far. You need to get out and do some shows, make that money, and progress onward. And invest in yourself. That's another thing too. Investing the money back into yourself is how you get fucking better no matter what. You always got to be investing in something. Promo, whatever it may be. consult about imaging and all that other shit. And so, yeah, speaking of that, one song, right, our project, I'm hoping it's one of these ones that we get to hear tonight, but one to best describe you and your work is where you're currently at. Like if you ran into, I know you just signed this deal with this and you're happy about that, but if you ran into some record exec, this is hypothetical, in a fucking elevator, and he was like, I'll give you $1 million if you play me one song, and if I like it, I'll give you $1 million record deal right now, right? And you're stuck in the elevator with him for like 3-4 minutes. What's that song going to be? Is that a song that you have available that we could hear? Or we've had people in the past even say it's something that hasn't been released yet, which we didn't get to listen to, which I was like, we're going to have them back on. Listen to that.
That's basically it right there. Honestly, so I'm going to be working on an album now that I just joined this team. It's an album that I've been wanting to do for a long time. I dropped the cover it a while ago. It's called Double Ouroboros. And basically what it means is the recreation from destruction. And so past year, I've gone through a lot of crazy shit, and my life has just plummeted. And that's why I got back into music. I went as far bottom as I've ever been. Homeless, broke. I was in a lot of trouble with the cops. I lost my kids. I had to get all of that shit back. I had to get a new home. I had to build everything back and finally be able to get my business back. It changed me as a person. So I have one song on there that is probably going to be the single that I next drop. That is pretty much a description of basically a rundown of what the album's going to be. It's basically telling it in short story. And that's going to be one that it hits home for a lot of people, especially people from the streets, because it talks about all the shit that I had to go through as a father, and why it led me to do the things that I did. And it's going to be one that a lot of people have asked a lot of questions about. A lot of my fans, a lot of my friends have asked what actually happened. And it's going to be the one where they find it out. And, it's going to definitely hit some people in their soul. And that's going to be the best one that I absolutely think that I've released so far. And it'll be one that I think that if given the chance, it's one that could very well do good numbers.
Dope. So the next time we have you on, this project should be out, hypothetically speaking, right?
Yeah. I got basically almost the entire album already written. I'm going to be starting to record here soon. Just trying to get everything situated from just opening the company back up now that I can. But I just finished writing down the last couple songs the other day, so it's about to start going pretty good. I'll probably have that released in the next few months.
Dope. So new release, upcoming releases, that's what we're talking about right now. From Xander, which we're looking forward to that, because from what we've heard already, I'm digging it. So let's actually get into another song. I want to set it up here. I want to play, I think you had said, which one was the next one? The Reset, was it?
The Reset is the most recent one that I released. I released in September. The one with G Gain is the feature one that I told you that I ended up taking just the feature off of it, and it's one long verse, and it's really good. There's no one else on it but me, but.
All right, yeah. So it's just your verse or whatever. Yeah, I get it. All right, cool. So let's get into that. You want to set it up, like any information we should know before we play it?
No, there's just pretty much like first couple seconds were it was cut a little bit off, so I didn't realize that until I just played it a little bit ago. But no, nothing else really to say. Just
all right, let's get it.
Seat off the brink with the word that I think is so alphabetical when I speak, and all this medical will make me read. So when we're reaping on these beats, yes, it's me and G Gang. We beat on our GRIND, and we are the realists in the streets, because we started from below your feet, and we succeed at making a dream look so much realer than it seems. So when you were looking up at me, just know that I'll be fucking laughing at the fact you're lacking passion. When I started grabbing this talent, I just sunk right in my talent, and I hit it just like a mallet. Now I'm stacking raps on the pallet, and I'm clapping for all the magic, and you haters are blasting static. I'm so honest when I'm havoc, but I'm modest when I'm talking tragic, cause I've been there and I had it with the madness and in the past. That's why I'm speeding, never crashing. Hope the stream is everlasting, cause I will take it to the masses till I'm on top and never falling. Cause I was following what was calling me to tell me I was astonishing. Now moving forward on my grind, and that is honesty. I just want it all. I feel like everyone's watching me and I ain't stopping.
All right. All right. Anyway, so yeah, that verse was dope. So that was the person that was featured and that was singing on the hook, right? Or is that you? Oh wait, hold on. All right, now I can hear you.
No, the dude who I was gonna feature with, we both chose a beat, and at the time I wasn't really quite good at writing my choruses yet, and
Yeah.
I didn't really care for his choruses either because they're not really the best. His verses were good though, so we got one that just was a beat that we leased that had the hook already on it. So I wish that was someone that I worked with because I always love that good raw, almost raspy singing. Like it always sounds really good, especially on that kind of beat. That sounded really nice.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was thinking, I was like, yo, I like the hook. It really fit like the whole vibe of the way that the beat was going and shit. So,
yeah.
But yeah, the verse, like I said, was pretty tight. I mean, it's hard to rap fast. That's like one of the things that's hard to do. You know what I mean? Like some people can do it, some people can't, and like some people don't even want to attempt to do it, and some people that's all they do.
Yeah, right.
There's definitely some people out there that literally like that's the only way that they can do it, and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? But to be able to do both, like to be able to be versatile and do it.
Yeah, that's one thing that's gonna really show on the album that I'm gonna be doing is my versatility. Like I really start getting into working with my vocals more, and I'm gonna be doing a lot from singing to slower raps, and just kind of trying to show how good I can really be as an artist.
Yeah, no doubt. So let me see here. What do we got? So any legendary stories that have come about related to music that you could share, or are there any causes or anything like that you're involved with that you want to share right now? This is the time where we would randomly talk about random shit, like if you're into video games or sports or technology, or like you have causes that you're trying to promote or things like that. Now would be a great time to mention any of that, and just if you're into stuff like that, because I mean I know I'm into sports a little bit. I'm into video games, technology, and all that stuff I kind of just mentioned. But what do you think? Anything that we could just randomly discuss that you'd be into?
Shit. I can get into really just about anything. I'm someone that. Fuck, I've done a little bit of everything. I'm trying to think now.
Do you watch basketball? Do you watch like Celtics and all that? Or you
Nah, dude, I haven't watched sports in forever. I actually haven't until recently. I never really had TV. Like I never really cared for it too much. I just always watched streaming services and shit like that. Fuck, shit, you get me with one where I'm stoned too. Fuck. I don't know. There's not really any causes right now that I'm really a part of. Shit.
There's
When you say a legendary story, what do you mean by that?
Anything, man. We've had fucking plenty of legendary stories on here. Like I had told about the time that I met Killer Priest. I think we talked about that a couple of times. Meeting Alchemist. I talked about that a couple of times when I was with Pav up there in LA, and talked about Ted Fields and that a couple of times. It really doesn't matter. I've talked about times where we just got so fucking drunk at the studio and shit and just wild out. And I remember one time that I had a story we talked about. I don't know, we must have had like a pound of mushrooms, and like we was all at the studio and everybody's drinking, just like freely taking mushrooms. By the end of the night, it was just like a couple ounces left. We didn't even know where the fuck like half of it went. Right. It was like 30 people in the studio, and that was a wild story. Just like everybody was like sort of tripping, and like drinking. It's just like a wild fucking time, man. Especially when you're trying to actually create and get shit done, and like nobody's actually doing that.
Yeah.
You're just like, what the hell? Yeah, everybody's in their own zone, and you're just like, wow, this is wild. Like, and it was in the era too, where like it was like flip phone era, so like not many people would like take out their phones and like record video and shit, or take pictures. Even like that was even a rare thing.
Or even be on their phone.
Yeah, really, even be on your phone. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you're trying to get a hold of somebody or whatever, but it wasn't like now, you know. So like, not really like documenting it. The fact like having that, you have to actually live in the moment and then like remember that shit.
Yeah.
From like that early 2000s shit. Which is crazy because now everything is like I literally always pull my phone out for like the randomest shit to take pictures or record shit. It doesn't even like I'll be like, wow, look at the snow on that tree, and I'll take my camera out. Like,
Yeah.
So like yeah, it's not like it used to be, but yeah, some definite crazy stories. So anything like really related to.
I got one, and it's because you brought up mushrooms. So back when I was younger, really until I just got sober a few months back, I've always been a big person, and like I liked ecstasy, I liked Molly, I liked shrooms, acid, you name it. Like I was always at fest. I was always trying to always having fun.
Yep.
And so there was one time, it was actually how I met my best friend Billy, and it was pretty much how we became best friends at that moment. So I went over to a buddy's house one time, and we all wanted to take some freaking Molly, and so we went and got some. And it was from like these deadhead guys, like they were 100% deadhead. It was extremely strong. We get back, and the people that we were hanging around with at the time, like everybody pitched in for this, and they all like wanted me to try and like break through to the other side almost, and fucking. Because they say that Molly is like a fifth dimensional drug, and then when they said that, my dumbass, I love spirituality shit, and I was like, fuck, what do you mean like, what do you mean by like fifth dimensional? What's it gonna do? And they say if you break through, you can talk to spirits, you can talk to that shit. And I was like, that sounds ridiculous, but I'm down to try it because I want to. And so they ended up fucking giving me way too much. Like I wasn't really gonna overdose, nothing like that, but the amount that they made me like pop some. And then, like, I ended up feeling really sick. And then next thing you know, I looked up at one of my friends, and then everything went completely black. And then I remember waking up, and this is where it kind of, like, gets, like, really extreme, but really hilarious at the same time. Like, all I remember is busting into the bathroom, and at the time where they lived, like, it was kind of like a trap house. Like, there was a hooker that was living there, and she was in the shower cleaning herself. And I didn't give a shit. Like I busted in that bathroom, and I remember seeing her and being like, "Oh shit, sorry, I gotta throw up." And so I throw up, and if anybody who does ecstasy or Molly or any psychedelic knows, if you throw up, it's called the purge. Like you're purging your body, and like that's when you get rid of all the bad stuff, and then that's when your trip, whatever it is that you're doing, just explodes.
Yeah.
So, like,
elevation.
Yeah, exactly. So that happened.
It like comes up and reabsorbs again, like through your esophagus. It's like, hey, take another round. Yeah.
Exactly.
This one's on me. You're like, damn you. Yeah.
So friggin' my brother Billy, he comes in, and we never really got along before this because we had like a mutual best friend who, like, at the time we were both kind of like, no, that's my best friend. Fuck you. Like we didn't like each other. But then all of a sudden he came in, and this chick is still in the shower, mind you, and just sits down next to me. And like the shower had like these steps on it, so it was in like this really nice house, and it had like these steps down. And we were sitting on it, and he has his arm wrapped around me, and he's smoking a bowl with me, and he's like putting it in my mouth, laying it for me because I couldn't do nothing. And next thing you know, the hooker gets out of the shower, and she's like standing there just naked and starts rubbing my back. And so I throw up more out of like anxiety. And then everybody then comes into the bathroom. Like we had like 12 people just sitting in the bathroom all around me. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, mind you, this chick is naked the entire fucking time this is all going on. And I go out to the kitchen, and everybody follows me. And like, I was like seeing like different colors and shit. And like, I was fucking out of my mind. And like, I was tripping balls. And it was pouring out at the time. Well, I was like, I want to go outside, but nobody would let me. So I like opened the door and laid half inside and half outside so that just the bottom of my pants could get all soaked. And then all of a sudden, like, I turn around, they all want me to come in and sit down with them and talk to them. And I sit down, and then, like, this is the most spiritual experience I've ever had at the same time. Like, I sat down, and something just was like kept on telling me that I wanted to talk to every single one of them. But like, the fucked up thing is, I would tell them all like something really fucked up about them that they like have always like held in, like their most truthful self is pretty much what I talk to them about. And the fun fact is, my brother who passed away last year, he hung himself. He had schizophrenia, And right at this time was right after he found out that he was diagnosed with schizophrenia. He ended up going to Acadia Hospital, and he was in there for a while. And the personality that he always got, and like the person that he saw, his name was Dexter. Well, at the time, he didn't tell anybody this. Like, nobody knew about it. Nobody. Like, he didn't tell me. And I ended up sitting there and then looking right at him and pretty much telling him, like, I know that he has somebody that's attached to him, and like ended up telling him all the details, and I ended up telling him his name was Dexter. And at that moment, he like just like kind of broke down and like told me about his schizophrenia, and we instantly became best friends at that moment. And pretty much I went around the entire circle and told everybody, like I said, their deepest, darkest shit, and then they all caught it on video. And then I ended up coming out of it, and like I only remember sitting in the bathroom and just puking. And, like, I don't remember none of this shit. Like, I was just so far gone, and this lasted for like 4 hours almost. And then next thing you know, we all just sitting in the living room, and when I come out of it, it was just like, I don't even know how to fucking explain it. It was pretty insane. And the fucked up thing is the chick was still naked the whole fucking time. I don't know why the fuck she didn't get dressed. And that was what fucked me up the most. But that's probably like the most like crazy thing that I've ever experienced in my life when it comes to anything like that.
Shit.
Put some clothes on out here for a motherfucker. Yeah, you make motherfuckers uncomfortable out here. I'm trying to fucking trying to purge over here. What the fuck's going on? Yeah, man, shit's crazy. I have, plenty of times I've fucking been rolling like super crazy. But yeah, it's always quite the journey.
Yes,
and
sir. Yes, sir.
It got to a point where they were putting all kinds of crazy shit in the pills, and I just was like, this isn't even worth the risk anymore. It's like,
oh, bro, yeah, I stopped doing Molly and shit like that years ago. Right after, like a few years after that, yeah. That was really like where my whole addiction thing started. Was I love the feeling of that. I love the feeling of tripping and stuff. Like, I don't really do anything anymore because like it got a hold of me too much, and it can drive you fucking crazy after a while. You know, you do that shit for a long period of time, and it will literally make you insane. Like, you go through a lot of shit. So don't do drugs. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. You're, some people can do drugs and like be super recreational with it. Like once in a while they'll do something, and just most people just can't do that.
No, yeah. Like I can't. The one thing that I can never do that on is with like honestly with like LSD or anything like that. That's the one thing that I can do every once in a while and not really fall back into it. It's not one that you can really do a lot anyways. So.
Yeah, so we got one more, I think, song to get to that we want to get to, and that's the reset, I think, now.
Yeah.
So let's jump into that. You want to set this one up?
This one is just basically, like I said, I recorded this one in the studio, and originally it was something completely different. The first verse of it was already recorded, and then I ended up losing my complete. Actually, my phone died pretty much, so I didn't really have it on my notes. And I had to use my buddy's phone because he had an iPhone, and at the time I had an Android. So, of course, our phones didn't match up with chargers, and I forgot mine. And so I ended up rewriting it all in this time and recorded it, and we ended up having it mixed and mastered within about 2.5 hours. And there's a part in there that I like to throw out because right previously before this, where I'm a caregiver, somebody ended up robbing me. It was one of my close friends who's actually a rapper as well from Bangor. So I kind of had to put him on blast in it a little bit. And I don't know, it's more of a hard one. It's kind of like Get Rich was, but a little more quick in my opinion. So
all right, let's jump into it.
All right.
blasting the masses, trapping that gas, we burn to the ashes. Y'all are trashing, rap is my passion. You sink down, but I grab some patches. Coming up fast like Dale, we lapping. All the trash, you snatching the cash and acting bad till we get to spazzing. Kid, take royal off your tab and shit. I'm sick of these whack ass rappers. Laugh at the fact you act is sporadic. Bitch, stop capping, we'll start bashing. Smashing your doors, this party crashing. You want me to get to clashing, cause you running, hide you dashing. Why you flash what you never had, just like the 45s you clapping. Facts you never made to rap. When I drop this, it's a rap. Watch your name just fade to black. Got your ex on homeboy's lap. He gonna lay her ass right back and press record, then send that back. Leave you trapped inside your head and have you running for some crack. Send a message, search your blessings. Pray the Lord that this ain't ending. If it isn't, you'll get headed up to heaven, where they send you trudging through all of the trenches to meet the devil in several wenches. Even he put you on the benches. Sheesh, I'm a beast, you see me clench the lead like I'm 2-3 in my league. Be the GOAT, but lead in a dream. Seems to me I conceive the team of trappers and rappers who scheme for the cream. I foreseen everything I redeem when I'm asleep and the reaper creeps. Tried to place me like at least 6 feet deep beneath the streets. They can't break me, you're defeat me with a fleet of 1,000 feet. You're too weak, we're armored jeeps. Page of beepers, jeepers, creeps. As a teen, I trapped on the bleachers, passed on my teachers, now they follow me. Rolling and sipping leaders, sniffing on coal and gripping lean. Writing scriptures, painting pictures, it's the blueprint from my team. Mine so bright, it's like the fixtures, all the diamonds all on me. That's a mixture on my wrist, so picture this, me and my team. We taking risks so all our kids can get what they need to plant a seed. Fulfill any dream that they believe, chillin', put their mind at ease. We put everything on the line, cause that's the only way to achieve. Double your cash, your team, your streams. Keep stacks clean and trace a puzzle. So all the fiends and all these snakes and all the police who chase a muzzle. Any dude who made a living in a way that caused some trouble. 9 to 5 was not enough to even feed my seed to crumble. Money takes the pain away and even dries up all the puddles. From all the dark and rainy days and shoulders ache, but I'll never crumble. Hope I found my way, no trouble. Never tumble when I pump the brakes. I'm so clever when I take the stage, cause my beating heart and brain seem to save me from a cage and paint a smile on my face to keep the goals all locked away. Look astounded from these sounds I make, chasing checks to the bank. Don't you hate on one of the greatest, who's gonna make it in the state? Take it to heights that y'all amazes. Make a lane switch past the lamest, get so famous I can't contain it. I'm not playing when I say your name is out of every conversation.
Yeah. Yes, you can definitely hear the growth from the first stuff that we paid, and even like the quality. I think of the recording is better too.
Oh yeah, yeah. Definitely kind of tried to come back, leveled up. That's that was my intro back in the industry in about 4 years. So I had to make sure that it was something good. And for being recorded and written all in the same time, like I think it came out pretty fire in my opinion. And like I said, it's been doing numbers pretty well, and I've just been having that on buzz while I've been working on pretty much getting everything together for this album. We got a bunch of new features coming soon with some other artists, and it's gonna be great. So.
Hell yeah. Sounds good, man. And yeah, we'll be looking forward to hearing when this new project drops and everything. Hearing the growth of artists is always, I think, one of the better parts of doing this show too. And we've done a few people who have come back so far, but we got some more planned who were on the first season. I want to have them when they come on this second season to hear what they did between now and then. And actually right now, if you want to, give any shout outs to anybody or let anybody know specifically where they can find you, all that great stuff, now would probably be an awesome time to do that.
I'm going to have to give a shout out to my entire team, RTS Entertainment, Ray Mills, J Bands, Young Mars, Honest to God. There's a bunch of really talented artists on there. There's a bunch from reggaeton to Spanish rap, and just, Ray Mills is a great fucking R&B singer. Very, very, very talented. Reminds me of like a Chris Brown in a sense, and then he can also switch it up real good and drop some fire bars. So we got a really strong team that's coming up. So big shout out to them. Happy to be along with them. Besides that, it's up from here. So you can find me on Facebook as Xander the Icon. You can also find me pretty much on any streaming services, anything you want. I'm pretty much anywhere that you look. Xander the Icon that's it. All right.
Hell yeah. Yeah, man. So thanks for joining us, man. And hopefully we hear some more from you in the future. And yeah, man, if, we keep in touch, we'll be able to set you up to come on again once you got the new stuff to promote. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Sounds good. Like I said, I'll be dropping stuff within the next couple of weeks. I'll be starting to drop something. And then the new single, Ghost Town, that's the one that I was telling you about. That's going to be one of the best songs I've written. That one's probably going to be dropped within the next 3 weeks. So there's going to be a lot of stuff coming. Albums, like I said, looking to be 2 months from now. So 2-3 months, and then it'll be ready to go.
Yeah. So one thing before you go, I got like this this song is kind of unreleased, kind of like working or whatever. I just want to play for everybody who's tuned in, and before you go, you know what I'm saying, just to gauge what people think of it or whatever. So I'm just gonna play that real quick. It's nothing fancy. I think I'm gonna stream it right. I'm gonna share my screen right from my email, just play it from there. But there's a hook and a verse from me on there right now, and I'm still kind of holding on to this song. I don't know, like really like it or whatever, and see where it goes. But yeah, I just want to check that out real quick. And this unfinished song is called Ready Set, and yeah. So let's jump into that. Let me share the screen real quick so we can get the audio over here, I think. Yeah. So let's see if we can hear this.
This shit gon' be fire. 1 for the money, 2 for the show. 1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 to get gully. He said let's go. It's 1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 to get gully. He said let's go. It's 1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 to get gully. He said let's go. It's 1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 to get gully. He said let's go. I said it's 1 for the money, 2 for the dough, 3 to get the guapo. Let the chopper blow. Take the bricks to the block, never trust a fucking cop, cause these hits will never stop. Hot grams inside my socks. Yeah, I'm a hustler. Been getting money, so I would never trust ya. Never find another, I stay hot until the summer. Leave your body missing, let the people wonder where we at. Back to my old ways, just minus the drugs. Searching for some haters, all I could find was some slugs. Dirty slimy snakes and some rotten fucking scrubs. Wanna be rappers, but they don't wanna be thugs. They wanna be nice, man, they wanna give hugs. They wanna sip liquor, and they wanna take drugs. I come from an era where we gangsters as fuck. I really live that life, so who can you trust? 1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 to get gully. He said let's go. It's 1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 to get gully. He said let's go. It's 1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 to get gully. He said let's go. It's 1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3.
Yeah, so I mean that's pretty much how it goes, you know. That's pretty much how it flows all the way out. But yeah, man, that's some new shit. I got an album that's dropping pretty soon. I think by February, March, it should be good. That won't be on it. That's going on the next shit. So like that's just like early preview version of that music right now for where it's at. And yeah, I just want to play that because I got people tuning in right now, like Blucifer. Shout out Blucifer. I know you dropped a song today, Blucifer. I checked it out real quick actually before the show, and I didn't have a chance to comment or react to it at this point, but I will. And yeah, so I mean that's pretty much it for the guest portion of this. And like I said before, we you know wish you all the best of luck with all this stuff that you got going on. And obviously, once we get a little further into the season, you know what I mean, into the fall, we'll probably want to bring you back on if you want to come on and discuss more stuff then at that point too. So
oh yeah, I'm always down for any opportunity given. So
hell yeah, bro. So yeah, thanks to Xander the Icon for joining us tonight, and have a great rest of your evening, bro.
You too, bro.
Peace. So yeah, man, that's a wrap on Xander the Icon joining us here this evening and checking out some of his music and getting to hear a little bit of that stuff from me was fun. And yeah, just hearing the growth from the early song, the first one that we played to the last one that we played was obviously the best part about that journey with our guest here tonight. So, and yeah, Blucifer, you're a little late, but you know, you can always hit that rewind button and check it out from the tippy top if you want to check it out. But yeah, real quick, I want to mention the sponsors for tonight's video, and that would be NPCstuff.com. Hundreds of replacement parts free shipping. Ask them for some stickers; they'll send them to you for free in there with in the package. They're awesome people to deal with, man. When I hit them up to see if they'd be interested in sponsoring the show, I mean, they hit me back like within a couple of days, like, what can we give? What can we get to you to make it happen? They hit me up. They gave me some free extra thick pads for the MPC 2500. They gave me a RAM upgrade module to upgrade to whatever, and some cleaning stuff and some interior inside stuff that would help my pads a little bit, cushion against the pushing of the thing. All that didn't cost me anything, just to, always fucking talk up about mpcstuff.com because they're just super dope. And then, we got I Regret Nothing Apparel. So right now, website is down. I think they're going through this whole revamp thing, and they got a bunch of new stuff that's going to be coming out. They do this often enough where every few months when they put out the new stuff, they take things down and get it all set up. But in the meantime, check them out on Instagram. I Regret Nothing Apparel, IRN Apparel, I think is their Instagram, and Maine Black-owned small business, so we love to support them. And again, one of those people who, I reached out to them and was like, yo, I love this design on this and that, and then I'm doing a podcast, and they were quick to just send us out. I think they sent us out shirts, hat, whatever. They sent it right out. So we love to work with them and give them praise when we can. So, and also Fire on 4, down there, 367 4th Street, for hooking up the smoke break section of the show. And we're just happy to have them on board. And I do want to remind people, because for all last season they were medical only, now they're rec, so you don't need a med card to go in there. But prices will reflect that. You know that if you're into rec versus medical. So I do say, if you do have your med card, head over to Beach Boys in South Portland, because it's the same people and they usually have a lot of the same strains. So hit them up if you're over there too. And also Elevate Audio and Visual. That's my label, my promotion company, making music videos. Without that as the flagship here, we wouldn't be really doing much of anything. And head over to elevateaudioandvisual.com if you're looking for music videos, live videos, anything that has to do with drone footage. You want some of that, I can do anything. Hit us up if you're looking for that. And next week I want to talk about next week's guest real quick here. So I'm just gonna get rid of my camera real quick. We'll talk about next week's guest. We got Neo 207 joining us next week, February 6th. I'm actually heading to Indianapolis on the 4th and coming back the 6th. I should be back with plenty of time left to make the show in time. So we look forward to Neo 207 joining us. He is from Aroostook County, Maine. I believe he's from Grand Isle area. So it'd be cool to get his perspective on stuff. And we've played his music before on not only this show, but other shows such as the review shows we used to be involved with also. So we've been familiarized with some of his music, and it'll be fun to have him on the show to do that. So check that out as soon as you can. And we'll go from there with that. So anything you want to add, Justin, before we get out of here?
No, shout out to Blucifer, checking out those drone videos.
Oh yeah, the drone videos I put out. Yeah. I got a couple more I kind of been hanging on to. I got a video from Scituate? I always don't know how the fuck to say it. Scituate Light down there in Massachusetts. I got this past summer, which are actually pretty cool fucking drones. It's like a hot hazy day. I got some cool video. I just kind of never uploaded it, so I gotta do that. But I got some other stuff that I'll be putting up on the Elevate page there for you to check out pretty soon. But so I think that pretty much covers it for tonight. And we thank you all for tuning in and checking us out. And if you like it, drop a subscribe, share, and join us next week. We do this every Sunday at 8:00, so you can always jump in for some conversation and check us out. Head over to obesetoprofit.com. If you're looking for beats, I got them up on there. Hit me up personally if you're looking for beats too. And I think that's pretty much it. So we'll see y'all next week when we do this again with Neo 207 joining us. All right, so peace, y'all.